This is Sydney.
And I'm Sher. Here we are again with another challenge check-in where Sydney is reminding me why I left middle school.
Here.
All right, AI Dawn, get us started.
Welcome to this week's challenge check-in.
But before we get into this week's challenge check-in, we will share with you a few thoughts that have been on our minds.
Your mind, not my mind. Please leave me out of this.
The first category is advice from Granddad.
The immediate thought that I had when I thought of advice from my grandpa was my grandpa always wanted us to pull his finger. He would always say that to us. And when he said that, being disobedient grandchildren, we would run away. But that was his advice.
Disobedient or wise, maybe.
Maybe, but he always wanted us to pull his finger. That's what I remember the most advice we got was that fingers are meant to be pulled.
You know, my daughter, who happens to be here today, she also, like your grandfather, she will ask us to pull her finger too. So in the future generations to come, her great grandchildren will probably say the same about her.
Good advice there, E.
All right, when I thought of this, I remember my granddad, he would say to us, if someone has a new baby, but you can't say what a beautiful baby they are, then what you could say is, oh, what beautiful hands the baby has. And that was code for, that is an ugly baby, but you don't have to say it. And then after he would tell us that, he would say, you know, Sid, your older brother Levi had beautiful hands when he was a baby. But we still use that to this day. So if anyone in my family tells you that your baby has beautiful hands, you can just interpret that however you wish.
Over this last year since I've known Sydney, she's told me that I've had beautiful hands at least 25 times. So thanks
look
for
nice today.
Now
Sher.
I know what that means, Sydney. Thanks a lot.
I don't think you're an ugly baby.
Our next category is word to your mother.
Today we have a special guest with us, my 8-year-old daughter, Iana, and I'm going to give her my mic and I'll have no control of what happens next. It will be between Sher and E. Here we go.
Hi, E.
Hi.
I'm going to ask you some questions about your mom. You ready?
Yeah.
What is the most annoying thing that your mom does?
I hate it when she talks like a teenager and always just says things that probably like my brother Rock would say.
Doesn't she talk like that all the time?
No, not really. Only really in front of me.
That's a very good answer, E. What's the most embarrassing thing that you've seen your mom do?
That's hard because there's so much answers to that.
Well said, E. Can you choose one?
Probably when she's dancing. She has like her earbuds on cooking our food in the morning and she just like kind of slides and puts her hands in circles and just slides around.
Yeah, that is embarrassing. That was a good description too. I liked it. What's one thing your mom does that makes you laugh?
That's hard. I think the trick is to make somebody laugh is to laugh, but she never really does.
This was the best interview ever.
I pretend to laugh sometimes for my mom, so she's not sad.
So she's not sad. I do the same thing, E. I know how you feel on that one. That was a good answer. Okay, last question. You ready?
Yeah.
Tell me at least 2 things that you really love about your mom.
Probably like cares for me a lot, and since I'm the favorite child, that doubles it.
That's fair. E, you did excellent. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Good job. That was perfect.
Now it's time to supercharge your vocab.
Your word is a noun. The word is chairdrobe.
Chairdrobe. Sydney likes to hang out with the chairdrobe in the afternoon because it relaxes her.
Chairdrobe. Piling clothes on a chair in place of a closet or a dresser. Also see floordrobe.
Also see every teenage boy's room in the entire universe.
Yes, Rock has a little couch in his, so he has a couch robe.
I have a little bench drobe.
I have a cycling bike, so I have a bike drobe. And now on to our challenge check-in. This week's challenge was to serve someone in honor of Sher's mother's birthday. And the first thing that came to mind of my great grand act of service was that we drove all the way to South Dakota this weekend. And I just thought I served Ben, who drove, and I sat in the passenger seat. I was there 100% full focused, offering advice while he drove. That was my first act of service. So I would let him know if he was going too fast or if he shouldn't pass yet. I was there for him.
That's really kind of you.
Thank you. And then another thing that I noticed this weekend was we stayed at a hotel that was packed. There was no open rooms. A lot of kids were there. And I did notice that several kids held doors open for people, but I also noticed several kids didn't. I noticed that a lot of kids would just walk out and the door would slam in people's faces. And what that did was it pointed out to me when kids did stop and hold doors. And I thought to myself, it's really interesting that such small acts of service really do matter and make a difference. Even at a young age, when a kid opens a door for somebody or does something simple, that really will build such a foundation for their life. And I thought it was really an interesting thing to take notice this whole weekend. But I have one more. Someone from our neighborhood texted me on Friday night when I wasn't home, and she asked if I was available to help her. She has a brand new baby and was having a bad day, but I was out of town. So I reached out to somebody else and I said, hey, I'm out of town, but so-and-so is needing a little bit of help and I'm not there to help her. The next day I got a text from this mom and she said, I cannot tell you how amazing it was to have someone come and help me. I needed conversation. I needed an extra hand. And our friend Trista just showed up and was there. And it was so special for Trista as well for this new mom. And I just thought how beautiful to be part of a community that, one, is willing to ask for help, and two, who just shows up. I was such a tiny part of this. I was the one who got to kind of watch on the outside of people asking for help and people who were 100% willing to make it happen. But I couldn't do it. And the person I talked to couldn't do it. But she found someone who could. And it was just a really awesome domino effect of an opportunity to serve, an answer to serve, and how beautiful the whole thing turned out was really awesome. So that was for your mom.
That was awesome. That was a good Williot too. That was great. I'm going to talk about people serving me. Yesterday, I wanted to go put flowers on my mom's grave for her birthday. And suddenly my niece was going to go with me, but not only my niece, but her husband. They drove me down there so I didn't have to drive, and they bought me a sandwich. And it was a really fun day just to be with them. So I just want to tell them thank you for going and buying all my food and paying for the gas, and that I could just sit there like a slug. You guys are great. I love you very much.
Awesome people. Thank you for listening to our challenge check-in.
Have a good week.
Bye. Let's say bye.
Bye.
Say it. My mom's funny. Say it right now. Say it. Say it.